Welcome back to the Dry Fasting Club. Today, we'll be talking about dry fasting and anti-aging, or age reversal. Everyone is looking for ways to reverse the clock and to buy yourself a few extra years. I remember when I used to tell people that I fasted 15 years ago, people would literally think that I was crazy. Fast forward a little bit, and now everybody is doing some form of fasting, from intermittent fasting to water fasting. So I finally feel vindicated, but not for long. Now that I'm dry fasting, people are back to calling me crazy. Am I some sort of masochist? Maybe, but let me just tell you about a few reasons why you should consider dry fasting if you're looking at being able to reverse your age and turn back the clock. From the world's most powerful autophagy and stem cell regeneration to lengthening your telomeres and increasing your growth hormone production. Yes, functional immortality is on the table. We'll talk about how dry fasting supercharges this and introduces a new form of hormesis, which is stress, beneficial stress, that you can't get with anything else. There's a reason dry fasting is called the ultimate complete fast, and that it has some insane claims about healing all types of diseases. You'll learn why you can say no to things like NAD+ IV drips or even stem cell injections. Your bank account will thank you, so strap yourselves in. Welcome to the Dry Fasting Club. Please remember that all fasting should be done with medical supervision. All information provided here should be viewed as informational only and should never supersede medical advice. When you are adding fasting or making lifestyle and dietary changes, please discuss with your medical professional first. Let's talk about autophagy. What is autophagy? Well, you can think of it as a sort of house cleaning for your cells. It's your body's recycling system. A big part of aging is our body actually losing the function of cleaning itself out efficiently. Our autophagy power diminishes. Well, it's become quite common knowledge that eating less, so calorie restriction, and especially long fasting gives us a powerful boost to autophagy. There are a few different forms of autophagy, but without going into too many details, dry fasting activates one of the most powerful forms of autophagy called chaperone-mediated autophagy. It's basically autophagy on steroids. This means that the body is able to clean up all that cellular junk that your normal autophagy, which means to say your day-to-day autophagy, just can't handle by itself. On top of all of this, scientists have discovered that a hypertonic environment, one that you get during dry fasting, actually is able to restructure the insides of your cells. It rebuilds microtubules, which are sort of like the skeleton of your cell. Can you imagine how tiny those things must be? So I've only scratched the surface of dry fasting and autophagy, but if you're a fan of autophagy, then you're really going to want to take this for a spin. Let's talk about stem cells and diseases. People get stem cell injections as a form of regenerative medicine to potentially heal things like damaged tissue, maybe damaged organs. Stem cells have this unique ability to be able to transform into any other cell in the human body, from brain cells to muscle cells to everything else. What if I told you that dry fasting is the most powerful way to naturally activate stem cell regeneration? We already know that water fasting has a bunch of data and research papers that show a huge increase to your stem cell regeneration following a long water fast. Yes, you can go and pay a bunch of money to a clinic to inject you with exogenously grown stem cells. But remember, your body knows best. So stem cells that have been cultivated by your own body are better than ones that were cultivated outside of your body. And if you're going to be doing extended fasting anyways, you're going to be getting a bunch of additional benefits at the same time. Things like improved blood glucose, degradation of old cells, and improved willpower. Don't sleep on that one. You not only heal physical injuries, but you also unlock mental benefits that no other clinic, no other injection can give you. So now let's talk about longevity studies. We'll talk about growth hormone, we'll talk about telomeres, and we'll talk about hyperbaric oxygen therapy. There's this study called Fasting for Stem Cell Rejuvenation, and it describes how certain species of planarians, an earthworm, when restricted from food for up to 3 months, will effectively become immortal by increasing the telomere length in their stem cells. Telomeres protect the ends of your chromosomes from becoming frayed or tangled. Each time a cell divides, the telomeres get shorter. The longer your telomeres usually indicate the younger that you are. This study found that fasting not only prolongs your life and increases the percentage of your stem cells, it also showed that you can increase the maximum length of your telomeres, which is crazy. This means it's possible to go beyond our biological restrictions. Now let's move on to EPO. We know that erythropoietin, a glycoprotein hormone that is naturally produced by the kidneys, goes down the longer you dry fast. This shows us that dry fasting is able to oxygenate our cells in our body better than hyperbaric oxygen therapy, a therapy that is often used to heal diseases, increase your telomere length, and reverse aging. Another win for the pocketbook. Now we know that a 5-day water fast can increase your human growth hormone by up to 300%, and dry fasting can make that go up even higher. More lean mass, less fat, thicker skin, thicker bones, lower glucose, and improved insulin sensitivity. I don't know about you, but that sounds like anti-aging to me. These findings correlate with a lot of dry fasting testimonials and anecdotes. They talk about dry fasters being able to cure incurable diseases and even being able to very drastically and quickly lower their metabolic age. Once again, dry fasting is known for its huge impact on stem cell regeneration and generating 3 times as much beneficial stress, ketone production, and autophagy. What doesn't kill you, in this case, you guessed it, makes you stronger. Now, I just want to touch on a few other topics that should be included when it comes to dry fasting and longevity. Obviously, we could talk about this for days. Let's talk about Lipofusin, a sort of residue from autophagy. The older you get, the more Lipofusin we find in your cells. Yes, dry fasting helps clean it out, but water fasting, not so much. Then there's deuterium, also known as heavy water, and is found in almost all bodies of water on this earth, and you guessed it, in our bodies as well. High deuterium levels in the human body can have a bunch of negative impacts, and it correlates a lot to aging as well. Things like premature aging, chronic fatigue, metabolic problems, and so much more. Now, if you've been following the videos for quite some time, you've probably heard of metabolic water, and you guessed it, our body creates it from fat molecules, and it is deuterium depleted. Dry fasting literally lets you change the water in your body to a younger and healthier version. Think of it like changing the oil in your car. I hope I've started to paint a picture about how powerful dry fasting can be, especially when you want to return youth back to your body. Like all things in life, the best things are usually free. However, discipline is required. Thanks for sticking around. If you've dry fasted before, have any questions or requests for future topics, please leave them in the comments below. I always check the comments for inspiration and ideas. If you're looking for a chat or to set up your dry fasting plan, check out the dryfastingclub.com website and subscribe. You should also check out the Discord community where you can meet other new and experienced dry fasters. Remember, no two people are the same, so every fasting experience is unique. Thank you and good luck on your dry fasting journey.